Well, family, it's been 18 months and 18 episodes. And this 19th episode is going to be a financial flashback of some of the harder hitting teachings that could completely turn around even the most dire situations if they're applied. LFS EPD. Wondering what the heck that means? Head on over to my Financial Wisdom YouTube channel and look for my full episode of Stop Spending. Now, plan for the unexpected. Monopoly is notorious for the chance and community chess cards. But life is full of the unexpected. Just like the go to jail card can disrupt your strategy, losing a job, unexpected expenses, and unforeseen challenges can disrupt your financial life. So in Monopoly and in real life, you learn that emergency funds are crucial. I suggest 3 to 6 months. Check out my full episode on my Financial Wisdom YouTube channel, Building Emergency Reserves. Every time your card comes out of your wallet, on impulse, on competitive buying, you're swiping your way into debt to keep up with these people who you'll probably never even meet. Let that sink in. Let me ask you, when it comes to building wealth in this very moment, and I need you to be honest with yourself, what are you really looking to do? Would you rather have a $5,000 bag with $100 in it or a plastic bag with $5,000 in it? Are you looking to act the part or actually be the part? Growing up, my parents called it keeping up with the Joneses. Today, it's keeping up with the Kardashians. It's the same drama under a different name. Before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about my story. When my husband and I first got married, neither of us made very much money. But we decided that we would live on one income, take the other income and save for our retirement, to travel, to give to charity, and we still do that until this day. Now, I can remember early in our marriage traveling on a serious budget. There were times when we would book a hotel room, have one bed, and all four of us would sleep in that one bed. But guess what? We focused on time together instead of all the stuff. So let's dive into how I can help you travel without breaking your budget.
You've titled this podcast episode, Is Your Money Childish? What does that mean, and how does Proverbs 22:6 connect to our financial habits?
Well, first, thank you for being here. I'm very excited to answer your questions. Proverbs 22 talks about training up a child and how they should go. If you do it when they're young, they won't depart from it when they're old. And think about money and how we handle money and how children handle money. Children have no idea of the value of money. What they want to do is spend and buy. Just spend, spend, spend. They have a few dollars. They go in. They want gum. They want this. They want that. Well, many times we behave that way as adults. And what I wanted to do is talk about how we can not just grow up in age, but grow up in our money habits and have more mature money habits. So I thought that was a great way to connect it. And as a Christian, I believe that the Bible has given us all the solutions that we need that pertain to our life and our finances. Now, bear with me for a minute because I am going to give you the technical definition of a recession, because we hear that R word thrown around and a lot of people don't even know what that really means. Well, I'm going to take off my coaching hat for just a minute and I'm going to put on my financial advisor hat. A recession is technically a widespread downturn in our economy that typically will last longer than a couple of weeks. Rule of thumb is a shrinkage in GDP. That means gross domestic product. It's a shrinkage for at least 2 months. And gross domestic product is all of the goods and products sold in our country in a period of time, okay? So depending on what news outlet you watch, what your pill of poison is for your news, we may or may not be in a recession. But again, doesn't matter. We're going to be talking about how to protect yourself against uncertain times that are definitely coming. Now, let's get into some of the concerns that you have been sharing with me through direct message. One of the major ones, and I've gotten this question from so many of you, is loss of job. How do I protect myself if I lose my job? Well, certainly one of the easiest things to do, and I'm going to start with this one, is emergency reserves. I have been saying this for months, and guess what? I'm going to beat this one into you because you cannot skip that step. Emergency reserves are critical to building wealth. So, emergency reserves is a great protector against loss of job. Be able to go 3 to 6 months. The other option is look at a second stream of income. Get yourself a side hustle. The best time to have a second stream of income is when you're already working. So get out there, look around, think about the talents that you have and put them to work. Another concern that people have during that will cause turmoil in their household is disability. If I told you right now that there was a machine that I was going to give you, and from the day you step foot in the workforce till the day you retire, that machine is going to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars for you. In some cases, over $1 million. Would you insure it? Well, of course you would. You know what that machine is? It's your ability to get up and earn an income. You've got to be able to insure that. How do you do it? Well, if you're working for someone, disability coverage is key. Most companies will offer not only short term, but long term disability. So look into the benefits you have at work. Open enrollment, it usually comes up between September and December. So this is a perfect time for you to drill into your company benefits, take out long term and short term disability. People are poor because they don't know how to apply that wisdom. Take the information they have and apply wisdom to that. Okay. Mm-hmm. So for me, that's what it is. I will tell you that there are other great books out there. There's Millionaire Next Door that I've read. I've read the Automatic Millionaire, very good book. But again, you can Google all kinds of great resources and read. But it's being able to take the information and then apply it.
So, can we talk about debt?
I'd love to.
Okay. How would you recommend balancing paying off debt, saving, and investing?
That's a challenge for a lot of people that I talk to, even people that come into my office on a regular basis, because we all know that debt is the killer of wealth. And a lot of people believe that they can't save because they have debt, but you can actually do both. You mentioned three things. You mentioned debt, saving, and investing, right? Mm-hmm. Debt, you can actually pay off that debt as you're saving, but you're actually not ready to invest until you've accumulated some savings. So this is how you do it. With every dollar you earn, you have to first understand how much discretionary money you have. After you paid all your bills, okay, that includes your minimums on your credit cards, you take what's left. You take 50% of that money and you pay down additional on your debt. You can either use the avalanche method, which means that you pay off the biggest balance first and you bring it downhill. Or you can do the snowball method, where you do the smallest and it gets bigger and you keep going, okay, and go to the largest balance last. Either method that works for you, okay. But you take 50%, you apply it towards your savings, and you take the other 50% and you pay down that debt. Okay. Once you have accumulated the amount of savings that's needed, and I recommend 3 to 6 months emergency reserve, then you can take 100% of that money you were putting towards reserves and now attack even more debt. So let's come up with a system. So every dollar you get, do you understand percentages?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say that you have $100. We're going to put 30%, which is how much?
70.
30%, 70 would be what's left. That's correct. So you would put 30% in your wants bucket. That's $30, right? Then we're going to take another percentage, 65, and parents will help you a little bit with these percentages. Will go in that future bucket. So you were right. Most of it goes in that future investing bucket. And then we'll put 5% in our donation bucket, right? And if you do that with every single dollar you get, what'll happen is you'll build those buckets. Now, when you want something, you've got a place to go, right? When you're ready to invest, when you've got enough money to invest, you go to your parents, they open a custodial account for you, right? And then if you see someone in need or you want to help, you've got money for that too, right? So that's a great way for you to begin saving. Okay, and I'm going to follow up with you on this one. All right? Nobody ever got rich with money in a savings account. When you are building liquidity in your household, you need 3 levels: 0 to 5 years, short term; intermediate term, 5 to 10 years; long term, 10 plus years. So if you are trying to protect purchasing power, then you want to make sure that you don't have your long-term assets in short-term investing. Excuse me, I should have said, as long as you don't have your long-term investments in short-term vehicles, you will be absolutely fine in protecting your purchasing power.
Okay, let me see my question. This one is, what's one message you wish every woman heard during the holiday season? You got this. You got this. And I think it's your time to focus on your joy, set boundaries without feeling guilt, and to just realize and recognize the resilience and strength you show every single day. And as the holidays roll around, I think it is really important especially for us women, to remember that it is not our responsibility to make everybody happy. Especially not if it means that in the process you're losing your own joy. That to me, to remember that, and that we all realize that the challenges of the past months have only allowed us to grow and to emerge really on the other side, even stronger than we were before. So while we are in this holiday season, I think it's really important to take time for yourself, just to make sure that you can show up as the best self you can be in every situation. Yes. And so you got this. That's really it.
Let me try to say amen.
Amen. No resolutions this year, just intention. And your first savings milestone will be to save $5,000. So welcome to the $5,000 Savings Club. So let's talk about it a little bit. A strong savings strategy is like a ladder with many rungs. And each step you take, it takes you to a higher level. So throughout this year, you're going to hear me talk a lot about those 6 rungs of savings. And I'll define them for you in just a second. But before we get into them, here are 2 things I really want you to understand. This 5K club is bigger than the number. It's going to show you every day where you're missing saving opportunities without even realizing it. Because I designed this strategy so that you'll constantly be making personal, daily choices and whether you should be spending or saving. And then the second thing is, there's no pressure, but there is a timeline. I'm not giving you a deadline, but I do want you to set your own deadline, because goals need to have timelines. Otherwise, they turn into just a big wish list. So set a timeline for every $500 or $1,000 milestone. And if you miss a milestone, there's no shame, no quitting. Be patient with yourself. Reset and just set a new timeline. But whatever you do, keep going. We're breaking up with broke. That's why, if you haven't already, I want you to click the link in my bio and download my new ebook, Break Up with Broke. It's critical that you have this, because I'm going to be using it as a roadmap for our 5K savings club. Now, I've been on this platform talking about saving, building reserves, but this month we're going to be spending. And you ask why? Because we're going to be activating one of the rungs on the 5K Savings Club ladder, the 631 windfall rule. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then head over to my Financial Wisdom YouTube channel, watch the January episode, 5K Savings Club. And if you're already a part, good for you. This is how you're going to actually be intentional with that tax refund that you just received. You're going to take 60% and put it in your 5K Savings Club. You're going to take 30% and pay down some of those high interest credit cards. And then 10% you get to spend on whatever you like. And don't forget, you can always make a decision to take that 10% and treat yourself in reverse and save it. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired of being broke? You would probably be surprised to hear me say that being broke has less to do with your bank balance and more to do with your undisciplined spending behavior. In this month's episode, I'm going to use my ebook, Break Up with Broke, that I know you've all been reading, as a blueprint to show you how to develop some disciplined spending patterns that will protect your finances as well as your peace of mind. We are breaking up with broke for good in 2026. Warning, this episode comes with a disclaimer. This is not a feel-good episode. I hope you're ready to just strip naked and take an honest look at your finances. If not, skip this episode because it's not intended to make you feel good. It's intended to be a mirror that reflects all of your poor money choices. A real gut check. This workbook is the implementation partner to my ebook, Break Up with Broke. I want this workbook to teach you a new way to interact with your money. The workbook is going to separate those who say, I want to change my financial situation, and those who say, I am exchanging my poor money habits for healthy money habits. In other words, as I said, this workbook is going to be a real gut check, and I hope you're ready. I can promise you that if you're doing this right, it's going to be uncomfortable for you at times. But if you stay committed to the work, it will be life-changing. Now, you're probably wondering, Coach, how can you say that with such confidence? Well, it's because I have been helping people achieve their most important financial goals for over 35 years. And I can tell you with complete and absolute assurance that the techniques that I'm trying to teach you, they work if you stick with it. Because people don't lack money because they lack awareness and discipline. So open your workbook and let's do this. Let's figure out your savings goal. So take that number, deduct what you've already saved, because I'm hoping that you've already started building some reserves. So take that number, deduct the reserves you already have, and that gap becomes your new savings goal. So you're going to set that as your goal. Now, one of the things I want you to understand is that once you establish your reserves, you never go back and touch it. It's always going to be money in, never money out, unless it's time to break that glass because it's an emergency. Finally, I want you to share your progress with the community. You would be surprised at the number of people you can motivate by simply sharing your successes. Now, this isn't the end. It's really just a fork in the road because in all honesty, more money may not be the issue. You might just need more discipline, more awareness, and a decision to finally break up with being broke. And remember, you can do this.